Tanya Head is at a meeting on the 78th floor of the South Tower in the World Trade Center on the morning of September 11th, 2001. Everything's normal until boom, a plane hits the North Tower at 8:46 a.m. She's in shock, and it's not just because of the crash. Her fiancé Dave works on the 100th floor of the North Tower, right above where the plane hit. You can imagine how terrified she must be right now. Tanya's freaking out, people are running, and then at 9:02 a.m., the unthinkable happens. A second plane crashes into the South Tower. She's thrown against a wall, her arm is almost severed, she's badly burned, and she's crawling through flames and debris just trying to survive. Now, if that wasn't enough, she's witnessing pure horror. People are jumping from the towers, bodies are burning, and the walls are literally collapsing around her. Her assistant Christine, she's decapitated right in front of her. Glass and debris are everywhere. She's then saved by a true 9/11 hero, Wells Crowther, the man in the red bandana. He leads her to safety, but as she's being rescued, this random guy emerges from the rubble, hands her his wedding ring, and asks her to give it to his wife. 6 days later, she wakes up in a hospital burn unit, only to find out her fiancé Dave didn't make it. He was killed in the North Tower. It's tragic, right? But here's the thing. Instead of letting this trauma crush her, it gives Tanya her purpose. She throws herself into helping other survivors heal. She becomes super involved with survivor networks, meeting up with people to share stories, to plan memorials, and to support each other. In no time, she becomes a kind of leader for the 9/11 survivor community. Everyone looks up to her. Among the 500 survivors in these support groups, Tanya's story stands out, big time. Other survivors feel almost guilty sharing their stories after hearing hers. Tanya says, "I looked around and it was like a horror movie. People were mounted on top of each other, the smell of burned skin and people's insides. I was gagging. I kept thinking about my fiancé and about our wedding. I wanted to wear that white dress and swear my love for him." I mean, come on. She's talking about almost dying in the towers, losing her fiancé, and being saved by one of the biggest heroes from 9/11. And Tanya doesn't stop there. She's not just telling her story, she's doing things. She's organizing events, hosting fundraisers, and even using her own money to help survivors get access to trauma specialists. She's basically running the show. In 2003, a North Tower survivor named Jerry Bogax reaches out to Tanya, and together they form the World Trade Center Survivors Network. This becomes the group for survivors. Eventually, Tanya pushes Jerry out of the way and becomes president. But as her story gets more and more attention, people start noticing something's off. Some survivors are like, wait a minute, her arm injury doesn't look like a burn. Or they wonder why she never brings any friends to these support meetings. But no one says anything because who wants to call out a 9/11 survivor, right? That'd be messed up. And then, boom, the bombshell drops. After months of quiet suspicion, some journalists start digging into Tanya's story. And guess what? None of it is real. Yeah, none. She wasn't in the World Trade Center on 9/11. She didn't lose a fiancé. In fact, she wasn't even in the country. Turns out she was chilling in Spain when the towers went down. But wait, it gets crazier. Tanya Head isn't even her real name. Her real name is Alicia Esteve Head. She's from Spain, part of a wealthy family, and grew up with a privileged life in Mallorca. At the time of the attacks, she was enrolled in business school in Barcelona. As for her fiancé Dave, yeah, he was real. He did pass away in the North Tower. But here's the thing, he never met Alicia. They didn't know each other at all. When the truth comes out, the 9/11 survivor community is shocked. These people trusted her, shared their trauma with her, and now they find out it was all a giant lie? The World Trade Center Survivors Network kicks her out immediately, and Tanya, or I guess Alicia, disappears from public life. But here's the kicker. Alicia never tried to get money from her lie. She didn't ask for financial compensation. In fact, she had so much family money she didn't need to. So she can't be criminally charged for anything. There's no fraud case because she didn't actually profit from it financially. But the big question remains. Why? Why would someone make up such a horrific story? To this day, no one really knows. Tanya or Alicia never explained why she did it. Some people think it was for attention. Others say maybe she just wanted to be part of something bigger than herself. But whatever the reason, the damage was done. While most of the survivors who she befriended feel completely betrayed, some of them can't fully discredit her. She did a lot of good work for the Survivor Network. One survivor, Kara Cohen, even says, "She did a lot of good for our network. It's hard to discredit it all, but she didn't have to lie."